In the earlier lecture, I talked about the Kafka producer APIs. In this section, I'll help you understand the producer API structure and create an example to help you understand the usage. Kafka producer API is primarily made available in Java. In this course, we will be using Java APIs. However, the APIs are also available in other languages, and all those language bindings follow the same structure as Java APIs. Some of the most commonly used language libraries are listed here. There are many other language bindings that are implemented by open source community. But except for Java API, all the above language APIs are based on C Kafka client library named librdkafka. You can find documentation and an exhaustive list of supported languages at following URL. Great! With that preface, let's start creating some example to understand the mechanics of sending events to Apache Kafka. To help you build the concept more clearly, I want to take a problem solution approach. In this approach, I'll describe a problem first. Then we'll go ahead and see how we can build and implement a solution for the given problem. Here is my first problem. We want to create a simplest possible Kafka producer code that sends 1 million string messages to a Kafka topic. Simple, isn't it? How would you go about it? So, I have an empty starter Maven project here. I name the project as Hello Producer. This starter project is also included in your course material. All you need to do is to download the project and open it using IntelliJ IDEA. Once loaded in IntelliJ, you should see the same thing that I am showing on the current screen. All the necessary things are already set up in this project. I have a pom.xml file with all the required dependencies. I also have a log4j2.xml configuration file. Other than these basic things, I have added an app config class definition with some static constants. We will be using these constants in the example, and I'll explain them in a minute. I've also added some scripts to start your Kafka cluster on your local machine. In most of the examples in this course, we will be using a 3-node Kafka cluster setup on your local computer. Method to set up the Kafka development cluster is explained separately in the appendix of the course. Good. With this starter project template loaded, we are now ready to write our first producer example. Let's create a class with a main method. I name it as Hello Producer. We define a logger so we can create some log entries. This one is not mandatory, but a good practice to have a logger. Let's create a main method. These are all simple things, isn't it? Let me place a log entry. The log entry is to know if the program is started. Now we come to the real stuff. Sending data to Apache Kafka is a multi-step process. The first step is to create a Java properties object and put some necessary configurations in it. Kafka Producer API is highly configurable, and we customize the behavior by setting different producer configurations. In this first example, we will set up 4 basic configurations. These are the bare minimum configurations for the producer to work. The first configuration is the client ID config, which is a simple string that is passed to the Kafka server. Purpose of the client ID is to track the source of the message. The second one is bootstrap server config. The bootstrap server config is a comma-separated list of host port pairs. The producer will use this information for establishing the initial connection to the Kafka cluster. If you are running on a single node Kafka, you can supply an individual host port information. The bootstrap configuration is used only for the initial connection. Once connected, the Kafka producer will automatically query for the metadata and discover the full list of Kafka brokers in the cluster. That means you do not need to supply a complete list of Kafka brokers as a bootstrap configuration. However, it is recommended to provide 2 to 3 broker addresses of a multi-node cluster. Doing so will help the producer to check for the second or third broker in case the first broker in the list is down. I have defined all these configuration values as constants in the app_config class, and that is why I added this class in the starter project template. Remaining 2 mandatory configurations are the key and the value serializers. Great. Now there are 2 concepts here. The first one is the key value pair. A Kafka message must have a key value structure. That means each message that we want to send to the Kafka server should have a key and a value. You can have a null key, but the message is still structured as a key value pair. The second concept is about serializer. Kafka messages are sent over the network. So, the key and the value must be serialized into bytes before they are streamed over the network. Kafka Producer API comes with a bunch of ready-to-use serializer classes. In this example, we are setting an integer serializer for the key and a string serializer for the message value. That's all about the first step. Step 2 is to create an instance of Kafka Producer. The key for my message is going to be an integer, and the value would be a string. We need to pass the properties that we created earlier to the constructor. That's all. The third step is to start sending messages to Kafka. So, what I want to do is to create a loop that executes 1,000,000 times. Inside the loop, you can send the message. The send method takes a producer record object and sends it to the Kafka cluster. So, we create a new producer record. The producer record constructor takes 3 arguments. The first argument is the topic name. We send messages to Kafka topic, right? So, this is the topic name. The second argument is the message key. Let's pass the loop counter as a key. The final argument is the message itself. We want to send a simple string message. To keep it unique, let me concatenate the loop counter. Great. So your third step is over. Once this loop completes, you would have sent 1,000,000 string messages to the Kafka cluster, right? The last and the final step is to close the producer instance. The producer functionality is little involved and it does a lot of things internally. We'll cover producer internals as we progress with this course. However, it is essential to understand that the producer consists of some buffer space and a background IO thread. If you do not close the producer after sending all the required messages, you will leak the resources created by the producer. That's all. Let me quickly summarize. Sending messages to Kafka using Producer API is a 4-step process. In the first step, you will set some configurations that will control the behavior of your Producer API. The second step is to create a producer object. The third step is to send all the messages. Finally, if you have no further messages to send, close the producer. The final completed project file is also included in your course material, but I recommend that you take up the starter project and try creating the completed example yourself. If you have some doubts, you can refer to the completed project files that I have included in your course material. Great! Do you want to execute this example? Let's do it. Start your Zookeeper. Then start all 3 Kafka brokers. Wait for the broker to start. Finally, create the topic. All these scripts are already included in your starter project. Great! You are now ready to execute the example. Start sending a message and finished sending the message. It took a few seconds to send 1,000,000 small messages. Great! Great, isn't it? That's all for this video. In the next video, we will learn some internals of Kafka Producer. See you in the next lecture. Keep learning and keep growing.